Hey guys, welcome back to the WODdoc Project365, episode 238. Today what we're doing is talking and discussing some of the finer points of the mobilization assist that we use. You know, a lot of times I mention two a lot, either a breathe assist or a contract relax. And I talk about them and I use them because they're assist to the mobilization that we're doing. However, I see my athletes and the people that I prescribe them to kind of often just forget about them. They let them lay by the wayside. And they really are important assists, and they really enhance the mobility and the mobilization that we're trying to work on. So it's something that I want to revisit, and I want you guys to really pay attention to the more minute points. They're not very difficult, but they still are important on helping us get the best bang for our buck, so to speak. So what I'm going to do today is I'm going to demonstrate a very simple hamstring stretch and at the same time use both of those techniques. If I was using this in the gym, I would just set this up the same way, except I would do it in the rig. But since I'm in the office today, that's what you're going to get. So all I'm doing is setting a band up so that it pulls me further or deeper into the mobilization itself, right? So I got my hands set up so I don't have to use a bunch of grip strength, and I just kind of slide them through right there. And all I'm doing is allowing the band to pull me deeper into the stretch. The first thing I do is I lock out my arms. When I'm using the contract relax mechanism, what I'm actually going to do, okay, is I'm actually going to physically pull away from the stretch. So I'm going to become, I'm going to go less into the stretch, if that makes any sense at all, right? So I'm going to pull myself out of the stretch, hold that for a period of 3 to 5 seconds. 3, 2, 1. I'm going to take a deep breath in, a deep breath out. When I breathe out, I'm going to relax everything. So I'm going to relax whatever is having me get pulled in, or preventing me from getting pulled deeper into the stretch, right? So I allow myself to get pulled deeper into the stretch, okay? Now, when I want to reset that for a second round, what I want to do from right there is just activate like my way out of the stretch. So I'm just pulling myself out of the stretch, and I'm just activating that tissue, but I'm not pulling myself way back like I'm doing a rower in this case, right? So it's just enough that I get to a barrier resistance, okay? I find that barrier, I pull slightly out of that, I hold that for 5 to 8 seconds, I take a deep breath in, a deep breath out, and I relax to that next barrier. Does that make sense? And I would do that 3 to 5 times. Now, if I was only using a breathing assist, all I would do is, instead of pulling away like I do with the contract relax, I would just find myself a barrier of resistance. I would hold that there, and I would allow myself to kind of stretch into that barrier, okay? I would then use a breathe assist, which is simply just taking a deep breath in, a deep breath out, and concentrating on that relaxation on the deep breath out. A deep breath in, a deep breath out, and I concentrate on that relaxation further into the stretch on that breath out, okay? So basically what I'm doing is there's 2 types of assists that I'm really working on here. A contract relax, where I contract out of the stretch, okay? And I allow myself to actually physically, actively contract tissue that's pulling me out of the stretch. I'm then going to take a deep breath in, relax everything, and allow the band to assist me deeper into that stretch. If I'm only using a breath assist or a breathing assist, all I'm doing is allowing that band to pull me as far to whatever barrier of stretch I get into, of mobility I get into, okay? And then I'm just going to take several deep breaths, 3 to 5 deep breaths each time, allowing that to be that slow pace, and it just drags me further and further and further into that stretch as I take those deep breaths, okay? Now, how do I know when I'm done? I say this all the time. I say 3 to 5 because that's about what I want you to do, but you're really done when you try to reset that barrier and you don't go any farther, right? So what I might do is I might stretch to right here, okay? Deep breath in, deep breath out, I get to right here. I contract against it, so I come a little bit out of that stretch. Deep breath in, deep breath out, I get to here. At one point or another, I'm going to get to a point where I don't go any farther into that stretch when I take that deep breath. that's when we're really done. And if you're really trying to mobilize and get the best bang for your buck there, that's how I would do it. Guys, until tomorrow, we are optimizing function to optimize performance.